Is Professor Ian Hargreaves about from the School of Journalism?
Thank you. My question is, how relevant are current university research agendas to the needs of business in the Cardiff region?
Okay, thank you very much. Kevin, do you have any thoughts on how relevant? This is not just about Cardiff University, is it? This is about universities in general, yeah? But how relevant research agendas are for business?
Well, I can only speak about Cardiff University and increasingly my own school. For me, to my mind, the most exciting thing about Cardiff University right now is that they've put their hand, I should say we've put our hands in our pocket and created 3 new super university research institutes, which are focused on cancer, the brain and sustainability. And Terry Marsden is here this evening, and he's the director of the Sustainable Places Research Institute. For me, those create cutting-edge research agendas, which I believe are right at the heart of what you might call the green industrial revolution. And working with industry, with business, with commerce is absolutely vital to reaping the benefits of this new green industrial revolution. Because if I can relate this question to the last question, where Paul and I didn't get a chance to answer, I think this is very, very important because David and Graham rightly said that businesses offer academics an opportunity to commercialise their knowledge, to apply their knowledge. I think if these new URIs work, we will work with industry, with commerce, with professions, not just to apply our knowledge, but to help us to generate knowledge, to help us to frame questions, so we'll be learning by doing together. Universities don't have the knowledge to the big, super wicked issues today: climate change, mobility, dignified elder care, obesity. These are the really big issues, it seems to me, that societies all over the world are asking themselves. Universities don't have the answers, and nor do business and industry, but by working together and genuinely learning by doing, they can help to generate the right questions and hopefully come up with the answers in concert. So it's not just about applying knowledge, it's about helping us. If our research agendas resonate for business, as I believe many of them do in Cardiff, then I hope together we can generate some knowledge and apply it for these wicked issues as well.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Paul, I noticed you making a few notes there. Have you got any thoughts on this?
Yeah, I think Kevin's points are right. I mean, if you look at the research strengths of the universities, Cardiff University, for example, then they fit neatly with some of the growth sectors within Cardiff, which we wish to capitalise on over the next period. You look at the bioscience sector within Cardiff, for example. You do have a cluster of quite exciting biotech companies, and that's clearly reflected in terms of some of the research going on within the university sector. You look at creative industries within Cardiff, the work that Glamorgan University is doing in the atrium, for example, and you've got some real opportunities within Cardiff with the new BBC development at Roath Basin, with the potential of further production activity to be located within Cardiff and the wider city region. You've got real potential in that sector to create some very exciting linkages between universities and the creative industry sector itself. So I think that what you've got are some complementarity between the university sector and local business and wider city needs, which can really be harnessed over coming years.
Okay, thank you. Graham, we've got what sounds like a consensus at the moment, but do you think there's any gaps in university research agendas, for example, or do they match what business would be after?
I guess one of the sort of perhaps trite responses to the question from business would be, well, what are the research agendas? We can't really judge their relevance unless we know what they are. And I think it's something that universities are beginning to understand, and it's reflected in the points that Kevin made, that universities need to communicate what their research agendas are in order to gain the involvement of business. But they need to communicate those research agendas as themes very much. That the day-to-day research that an academic will carry out will be very specific research into a very specific topic. Universities need to put that into a context such as cancer, such as brain research, and probably even a little bit more detailed than that, in order to attract the interest, again, particularly of the large businesses, which is probably what we're talking about here. And the universities also need to present their research output in terms of what it delivers in capability. What attracts large companies in particular into working with universities is a combination of equipment and expertise, which those businesses themselves cannot duplicate. So in other words, you've got the ability to investigate a particular area, to generate data on that research topic, but also particularly to interpret that data. And it's that combination of equipment and expertise that businesses tend to find very attractive. So in order to get that engagement, I think universities need to get much smarter at presenting their research as themed topics that are relevant to the business environment, and also presenting very much the capability, the expertise that they have to offer, because that will be the first point of interaction for a lot of businesses.
Thank you very much, Graham.